Hi, welcome back to Snark and Spark. My name is Emily and this is my channel, and today we are doing a homework video. Now, you'll notice you can hear my dog. He is outside and his friend is outside and he is barking his greeting. Also, I changed my hair. Yes, it's very cool. I've got green and light blue and dark blue in it. I let my son pick the colors for my hair this time, and he did not disappoint. I think he did a great job. I'm really loving it. It looks a little dirty right now, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, so today though, I really want to just do a homework video and homework only. Um, I really want to try separating homework videos from like my normal floss tube videos where I do haul or show off my whips or talk about random things. That way, if you're here just for homework, you're here for homework and you're not getting bogged down with other things. But if you want to see floss tube and you want to hear me ramble about my life and my dogs and my kid and whatnot, along with haul, like this mystery basket here, haul and stuff like that, that'll be in a different floss tube video. So that's the goal. We'll see. um, so with that, let's jump into homework. We're going to start off with School of Magical Stitches. We are on Book 4, Task 2, and that is called Which Path? Campers, our heroes have left on their quest. They did have to take Grover kicking his hooves because he did not want to go underground. As they entered the labyrinth, it was decided they would keep their hand on the left wall, then they could turn around. However, they ran out of left wall and into a room with 8 doors. Which one did they pick? After they made their decision and followed the path to the end, they wound up in Alcatraz. Yes, they wound up in the prison in San Francisco. They were so confused on how they wound up there. They did rescue Brian's, that doesn't seem right, from the prison. He was the elder brother of the Cyclops, but he has lived in fear for so long, he is no longer the man he was. Tyson is trying to make him be the person he was, but it will be a struggle. They had to go back into the labyrinth to finish the quest. This time they found a cattle guard and wound up at a ranch. They were expected there, it seems. Nico was there, but livid that the heroes found him. He refused to work and speak with them. They were taken on a tour of the ranch where they ran into many strange and some extinct animals. One of the strangers was the man-eating horses. In order to save his friends' lives, Percy made a deal to muck the stalls of the flesh-eating horses. This hasn't been done in a while, and the poop was like the size of mountains. He was given just a few hours to clean the mountains of poop. He went to the river to see if he could get some help. It was suggested he use the dirt with shells. The shells made it where the salt water just made the poop dissolve. The horses were very unhappy because they had to get a bath while this was going on. Good thing they smelled. Now that you know what is going on with our heroes, we have a few tasks for you this week. Each task is worth 300 stitches. You must show a cover photo. Remember, if you do not have a project that fits, then you stitch on your oldest whip. So we have 3 tasks. Task 1. When they entered the room with the 8 doors, they had to make a choice. Stitch on a whip with at least 8 parts. Tell us which part you are working on this week. So think of things that are salves, stitch-alongs that have 8 or more parts to them that got released. I'm definitely thinking the like zodiac sign things and oh no, I'm like blinking on so much right now. Okay, so any like stitch along that has 8 or more parts, or chatting with the higher ups. It could also be anything that has like 8 distinct parts to it. So the example we were given by head camp counselor Vicky was, say, like she was thinking like Hawk Run Hollow, those things where it's 8 separate boxes. So like it's one piece, yes, but there are like 8 different sections. So it has to be like a clearly defined section So definitely with like borders, things like that. If it doesn't have a border, probably is not going to count. So I was like, oh, Letters from Hogwarts, but then it's only technically 7 parts. So there's 6 chapters, and then you have the intro, which was the frame plus the top. It's only 7. So I will do penalty stitches on that because I don't have anything currently that is 8 parts or like a stitch along that was more than 8 parts. So that is okay. And since I finished Book Lover's bookshelf, my next oldest whip is my Australian Dragon piece, the 2018 freebie from the 2018 Mirabilia Retreat. Sorry, I feel like I could have said that better. Anyways, next, task 2. We open a grate and find ourselves in Alcatraz, prison. Stitch on a whip that has something you would find in a prison. Explain. Okay, so this is where you can be fun and creative. I would definitely don't bog yourself down and don't take it too literally. Like, yes, people are in prisons, but there are also rooms in prisons. There are also guards in prisons. There are tables and chairs and beds and computers and cameras and floors. You know, there are a lot of things. If you want something very concrete, you're really struggling, you can think very abstractly like that of like building wise. There are rooms, bathrooms, toilets, sinks, mirrors, fixtures, people, eyes, hair. So there's a lot of things, but if you want to be more abstract, you could definitely think there could be animals in prison, maybe rats or bugs in prison. This is where we love the creativity. This is where we ask you to be creative. It doesn't give us a specific thing. So this is where if you can make it fit, you can tell us that story to make it fit, do it. I am going to go with the route of a mushroom. Let me explain. See, like, what? So I am test stitching a design called Noxious Crocodile by Linen Quartz Studio currently, and an element in this design is a like bright green fungi. It is a type of fungus, so it obviously is like mold, and I'm going to assume we're in like, if it's an old prison that is no longer working, especially one that's on an island and they're surrounded by water, there could be some mold in there, some fungi, some fungus, some mushrooms. So that's where I'm going with that. So be creative. You can do all kinds of things. And task number 3, our heroes visited a ranch. Percy had until sunset to muck the horse stalls. Stitch on a whip with something that you could use to muck the horse stalls. And just in case anyone was unclear, mucking the stalls means cleaning out the poop. And that could be a number of things. It doesn't have to be, stereotypical of like a bucket and a shovel. You could definitely do those things: bucket, shovel, any sort of scooping tool, rags, things, brushes, things like that. But definitely think tools that you would use for cleaning. I am also going to be using that Noxious Crocodile stitch piece because it has water, and I would use water to help break up the dirt and the poop and things. I never thought I would have a video where I was saying poop so many times, but here we are. So yes, I'm going to use that for that task, water, because I would use water. And that's all we have, so have a great week, campers. Now, that's all I have for Magical Stitches, so if you are done with Magical Stitches, I totally understand if you want to peace out. Otherwise, I'm now going to have to switch over and talk about Daily 30 because I am in Daily 30. So if you want information about that, we're still here. So, and this is all about Gilmore Girls. I used to watch this show quite a bit. I have not seen it in a long time. I don't think I ever actually finished the show. I believe my older sister did. And I have not watched the Netflix edition to it or anything like that, but I do like Gilmore Girls. So here we go. This is just Gilmore Week, I think is what it's, Gilmore Girls Week. So, the fictional town of Stars Hollow has been home to Lorelai, Rory, and all of their friends for 21 years now. Stitch with us as we step into the corner of the world that is home to the Gilmore Girls. Perfect. So it looks like the majority of the stitch count this week is either 300 or 400 stitches, or for your 4 hours. Alright, so number 1, Lorelai and Rory both share a love of books, film, and music. So much so, Rory says at her graduation that she lives in 2 worlds. One is a world of books, and the other is populated with characters slightly less eccentric but supremely real. Stitch on a piece that you can relate to books. Man, if I still had Books Lovers Bookshelf. I do have like an old-timey advert for books, though. I could always pull that out and work on it. Letters from Hogwarts would also fit for this because it's based off of the fictional universe that is the Harry Potter world. So, lots of things there. I would definitely say anything that has books on it, anything that's about reading or a library or any sort of fictional character or world, that will absolutely count. 2. Food plays a huge part in their world, from Lorelai's coffee addiction and burgers at Luke's to the elegance of the Friday night dinner and the grandeur of the Brace Bridge Diner. Stitch on a piece you can relate to food. Seems easy enough. Anything kitchen related, anything with fruits, anything with vegetables, any like farm scenes with crops or cows or chickens, things like that. I'm thinking also of Letters of Hogwarts again, because one of the options would be that you could go to Honeydukes and buy candy. So there's all kinds of stuff. 3. The town square and gazebo have hosted many events, from the Firelight Festival and Winter Carnival to weddings and crazy fundraisers like the Knit-a-thon. Stitch on a piece with something you might find in a small town. Now, that could be literally anything. Town hall, a town center, a road, a street. If you want to be more unique, you could definitely try and focus on things like the gazebo or a city welcome sign, or a church or something like that. That's really open. 4. The seasons play a big part in the Gilmore Girls world. From festivals marking the end of summer and the autumnal feel of the opening credits to the feeling Lorelai gets in winter with I Smell Snow, stitch on a piece you can relate to a season of your choice and tell us what you love about that season. So that would be great. If you love to do Christmas things, that's winter. If you have Halloween pieces, that's a fall. You could also get away if you have like a Valentine's Day thing or stuff with hearts. That's still considered winter, potentially spring. Any Easter things would be spring. Any sort of like beach scene or like fun in the sun, that's summer. There's a lot of ways you can take this and run with it. I just bought a bunch of little like quick Christmas ornaments with like winter scenes. So that's what pops into mind for me. I wanted to do this. 5. Kirk has worked everywhere in Stars Hollow and will do almost anything to make a buck, from t-shirts with slogans, parachuting for the opening of Taylor's sweet shop, or setting up his own diner after he crashed into Luke's. Stitch on a piece you can relate to a job or career. I want to pause real quick and back up to the seasons thing. It popped in my head just as soon as I moved on, was also Letters from Hogwarts for me. I associate that with fall because it's all about school and classes, and school starts in the fall. So if you have anything about schools, maybe think of that as well. Anyway, so back to number 5, stitch in a piece you can relate to a job or a career. I have seen, and I'm sure we all seen the like per my last email, that can be applied so broadly to like any type of job. Anything nerdy, anything that is very specific to a person's job. Like I've seen a lot of stuff about medical stuff recently that's related to doctors and nurses and anyone in the health field. If you have food stuff, you could relate that to being a chef of some sort. If you have teacher stuff, you could relate that to being a teacher, like school books. I think anything you could stitch on, really, you could relate to a career of some kind. Like, I'm definitely thinking if you have a piece with birds, you can relate that to being, what are they called, like an ornithologist that studies birds. If you have, I don't remember the term for it, so I'm not going to say it, but if you, the job where you study insects, like I'm thinking of my dragonfly, you know, you can make anything fit. I work at a library, so anything with books, like that to me screams my job. And that was it. So number 6, sorry, there's a bonus. You should watch an episode of Gilmore Girls and stitch on a whip of your choice. Tell us the episode you watched and what you thought of it, and for that it's just 300 stitches or 3 hours. But you would earn 5 tokens for doing the bonus. And then finally, the non-counting challenge, where you stitch for 30 minutes a day, every day, for 5 days. Yes. So that pretty much brings us to the end of homework. I do want to touch on Mania and what is going on with that. A lot of us do crazy things for Mania. I have never done Mania before. Like, I've never done the thing where you like start a new project for every day in the month of May. That just seems incredibly chaotic for me. My brain is already chaotic, and I just don't think that I could really process doing that or keep track of them. I'm not a serial starter. Once I start something, I pretty much want to like see it through, which is why I try to limit myself to only having a certain number of active whips. Even if I have a greater total of whips, I try to limit myself to active whips to about 4. That tends to be a really good manageable number for me. And I'm at that point right now. Did that stop me from buying more things? Absolutely not. But that's how I keep myself in control, or at least how I try to keep myself in control. Plus, I don't like stitching on something like once a day and putting it away, because every day is different. Sometimes I can only put 20 stitches into something versus, you know, over the weekend on like Saturday, I did like 1,000 stitches in one day, just working away on things. That's an exaggeration. I think I did 600 stitches, but you understand what I'm saying. Just going and going and going and going. I prefer to just get on a roll and keep going. Speaking of which, how much did I do? I finished Book Lovers, yes, Bookshelf. I started on my Australian Dragon, ended up doing 600 on that. 600 on Australian Dragon last week, and then 400. Oh, so maybe I did do 1,000 stitches. 400 on Letters from Hogwarts, but I will get to that in a different video where I show progress and things. I'm looking at my little planner, so I do use a mini planner for. Oh, there's my girl. There's my boy. Yes, this is upside down, I know, but I use a mini planner to track everything, and I also like to use stickers in mine. So, yes, this was last week. I used my finishing stitches for Book Lovers Bookshelf for the extra credit in Magical Stitches, and applied those to defeat a monster. So I defeated the first monster, which was the Sphinx. I did do that, and then book-wise, I haven't finished updating my planner yet. I keep track of what I'm reading in here, and I finished the Red Queen by Philippa Gregory. Just hang on. I don't remember what I was saying, but that's okay. Finished the Red Queen, and that was fantastic. ended up really disliking like the main character, the narrator, but I think that was the point. Yeah. Couldn't stand her by the end. I was so done with her. Loved the book though. She was definitely like the character you're supposed to hate. She just annoyed the crap out of me. But I finished that and I went ahead and put the next book on hold, which is called The Kingmaker's Daughter, and that follows Anne Neville. So that should come to me this week. I'm excited to start it. I also finished The Titan's Curse because I was behind, so I just kind of knuckled down and finished it on Friday as well. And I started Battle of the Labyrinth, the required reading. So that's where I am on that. And I am going to start reading the Red Queen I'm using for the international setting. That's where that's coming into play. And I'm going to start a nonfiction book probably today as well. That way, I get my points in. That's all I wanted to say about books. Somehow, this homework video that's only a homework video still is almost half an hour long, and I don't understand how I do this. But here we are. We are at the end of another video, and we're going to wrap it up there. But I will talk to you guys soon. I will see you later. And in the meantime, happy stitching, happy reading, happy listening, happy watching, happy doing whatever it is that makes you happy doing. Talk to you later. Be easy with your heart.